So one of the biggest questions, we talk a lot about what we do in our own practice. I do like to talk a little bit sometimes about what makes a social media expert. Google has definitions of what an SEO expert is, and some of that they try to help people find and hire the right people. And so the question always comes up, how do you know when you have a good one?
I just did a blog.
Or not.
Yeah,
Or not. That's true.
I did a blog post on this, and I said the only tangible way to know if you have a social media expert or not is if they show you a positive return on your investment. So if you go to a training class and you implement the stuff that they taught you in that training class, and boy, all of a sudden you're getting leads off of that, well, that's a social media expert. If you buy a book and it helps you, and all of a sudden you're making money off of your social media, sure, they're an expert. If you hire someone and you pay them $10 grand a month and you're not seeing any business off of that, more than likely they're not a social media expert. So
That's a pretty painful lesson.
it is.
People learn it every day with TV, though. So,
Mhm.
what would you look at from kind of a regulatory standpoint for if you were trying to find somebody? If you in your own company were trying to find a social media expert, not that you need one, but if you were
I
looking,
don't know about that, but
if you were looking for one, what would with your
that's a tough call. I mean, I think I would definitely want to see somebody with a proven track record. I don't want to be somebody's guinea pig client. There's not really any sort of mainstream accepted certification or anything like that. If you're trying to avoid getting defrauded, I'd say, what would be an unfair or deceptive trade practice is marketing yourself as a social media expert. Well, if you actually have no experience with this, that would be deceptive to position yourself as an expert. On the other hand, it's pretty easy to say, I have some experience, I have a LinkedIn page, I have a Facebook page, I have, N fans on my Facebook page.
Sure.
There's not a legal definition of social media expert.
yeah. It's hard. I mean, any certifications that are out there are by online universities, which I think essentially mean you've paid a company to have that designation.
Just to get
I'm not sure whether I've never bought into any of those kind of plans or classes or anything of
It's
that
not a
nature.
bachelor's degree or an associate's degree in
No.
social media.
It probably will be.
I think that's true. I mean, I think maybe not 2010, but certainly by 2012.
Yeah. So there aren't any really valid certifications yet for social media experts. Any ones that exist are just kind of these online universities and not the good ones. So I don't think there's any designations or that are really going to help you locate that right person. So I think it goes back to I personally like client references or referrals. If we can give you a real person that you can talk to individually. I don't like to share individuals' names in conjunctions with any given individual results. We're hired in a lot of industries to not have a name to ourselves, so that people can present this as their own marketing definition. I'm sure you run into that as well.
No, and that's actually a really great point to bring up, is that I don't share any of my clients' names, ever. I mean, maybe if we're in a discussion and you bring up someone and what they're doing and say, oh, okay, that is a client of mine. But generally, as a rule, I don't. And as for some people, they can kind of see that as, well, what are you trying to hide? But really the idea there is that I'm not trying to hide, I'm trying to protect them out there so that they don't get the perception of, oh, they're just marketing on social media.
Right.
We want the consumer to believe that they're engaging in discussion and that this is real. Right.
And that's why it's so important to have a personality in social media.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I always say, and Google says this as well, work with somebody local. I'm sure there are plenty of reputable large online houses to do all this type of marketing stuff as well as social media. But if you can at all, work with somebody that you can meet with face to face, or that you can at least interact with on a more individual basis. There are a lot of companies that their goal is to market to you and get you into a plan so that they can outsource all the work to another country, really, to do just a ton of link building and give you a very kind of flash in the pan marketing approach that will ultimately get caught by search engines and so forth. So.